good morning, or buenos dias, as most of you hear from me every day. The last time I stood at this podium was 14 years ago. I was about to graduate from St. Stephen's and I was giving my senior offering. That talk was about the loss of my dad and not taking people for granted. One of the messages I wanted to express at the time was how grateful I was to be part of such a supportive community during a really difficult time in my life. Today, I feel just as lucky to be part of this wonderful community as a faculty member. My message is, in many ways, the same. One of the best things about our school is the people, the teachers, coaches, staff, and of course, the students. The fact that I was asked to speak today on the National Day of Silence is a huge testament to the kind of school that St. Stephen's is. For me, the Day of Silence is about speaking up for members of the LGBTQ community who have been silenced for fear of bullying, ridicule, or even danger. For those of you who are not familiar with the acronym, LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning. I will be sharing 4 stories that relate to my life, but my talk today is also about solidarity within the greater St. Stephen's culture. So are you willing to take a trip back with me in history? If you are, let's go back to the year 1950. Bishop Hines and William Brewster's dream of opening St. Stephen's as a coeducational, integrated school has finally come true. It was an incredibly progressive vision for that time. To give you a few points of reference, Harry Truman was our president. Elvis Presley became the king of rock and roll. Disney came out with the movie Cinderella, and the comic strip Peanuts appeared in the newspaper for the first time. Television had been around for a while, but in the early 1950s, it became a huge part of American households. Popular television shows of the time included I Love Lucy, The Lone Ranger, Lassie, and Leave It to Beaver. Many of these shows portrayed the quote-unquote perfect family, thus reaffirming traditional gender roles, homogeneity, and conformity. Women were expected to take care of the house and the children, while men were the breadwinners. My grandfather would have been 32 in 1950, just a couple of years younger than I am now. My mom was actually born that year. On the outside, my grandfather was a happily married heterosexual man, but he had a huge secret that he was never able to reveal. My grandfather was gay. But as you can probably imagine, this was not a time in which he would have felt comfortable revealing a secret. So let's jump forward to the year 1992. George H.W. Bush was finishing up his term in office, and Bill Clinton would be elected the following year. Aladdin and Batman Returns were 2 of the biggest movies that year. The most popular television shows were Seinfeld, Saved by the Bell, and the original Beverly Hills 90210. I know that there's a new version, but the original was that year. I was a 7th grader at the time. One day in my English class, we got on the topic of middle names. Our teacher was adamant that she would not tell us her middle name, and I had no idea why. Years later, I found out it was because her middle name was Gay, which meant, of course, to be happy or joyful. It was so sad to me that she had to keep her name a secret. Even though she herself was not gay, she was clearly scared of being laughed at or ridiculed because of the negative connotations that the word gay sometimes has. Now let's fast forward to 1997. To give you a bit of context, Bill Clinton was starting his 2nd term as president. The first Harry Potter book was published. Titanic became one of the top-grossing films of all time. Friends became one of the most popular shows in television history. Diversity on television had come a long way since the 1950s, and we began seeing gay characters in shows like Will and Grace, Roseanne, and Friends. You may not know that Ellen DeGeneres was the star of a sitcom called Ellen. In 1997, her character came out as gay on television, and 1 season later, the program was canceled. Most of you were not even born in 1997, but I was a senior in high school. One day, I was sitting in chapel, just as you are today, and my math teacher revealed to us that he was gay. I specifically remember talking to him afterwards and saying, wow, that must have been really scary. I could never do something like that. At the time, I had no idea that I was gay. But I knew that it must have been a very scary thing to do, and I was so impressed by his courage. So here we are, it's 2014. You all have grown up with gay characters on television shows and movies. Gay characters appear in Glee, Grey's Anatomy, Gossip Girl, The Office, Game of Thrones, Modern Family, the list could go on and on. More and more celebrities and athletes have come out of the closet, including Ellen Page of Juno, the singer Ricky Martin, CNN News anchor Anderson Cooper, Neil Patrick Harris of How I Met Your Mother, Jane Lynch and Chris Colfer of Glee, NBA basketball player Jason Collins, and most recently football player Michael Sam. Ellen DeGeneres is so popular that her talk show has won 25 Emmys, and she has hosted the Oscars twice. In short, we've come a long way since 1950. I'm so proud that I can stand to you today as an openly gay faculty member, and it means so much for me to be able to speak on this topic since so many before us, like my grandfather, were silenced. No matter your background, your religious beliefs, or your upbringing, I hope that you will join in being a positive, supportive part of this community. You can be an ally for gay people in so many ways. One of the most powerful ways is by speaking up when you hear something negative about being gay. How many of you have heard someone say, "That's so gay," to mean, "That's so stupid"? I don't even think that the person realizes how hurtful it can be, and I honestly don't think most people are using it in that way, they just don't realize. Saying something as simple as, "What do you mean by that?" can send a powerful message and make someone think twice about using the word in that way. Even though we've come a long way in terms of our acceptance and support of gay people, we can still do better. You will inevitably meet bisexual and gay people during your lifetime. You may have friends, siblings, or other family members who come out to you as gay. Some of you might already know people who are gay. At some point, you yourself may question your sexuality. It's my hope that you will treat those people with the same respect that you expect from others. If someone comes out to you, you may not know what to say at first, and that's okay. I clearly remember coming out to my family, and although their reaction was incredibly supportive, I felt like they treated me differently at first. I remember asking my mom why she was acting so weird around me, and she said, "Because you're different now." It didn't take her long to realize that I'm the exact same person that I was before, and today she's one of my biggest allies. So many members of our St. Stephen's community make a conscious effort to be allies, and every single one of you has the potential to do the same. As teachers, we challenge you every day to think outside of the box, to think critically, to look at things from another perspective. My challenge for you today and in the future is to be an ally, because it will make a huge difference to individuals seeking support and to our community as a whole. And I just want to say that, the last few days I've seen so many people wearing the bracelets, and even though, it might not be, you might not think it's a big deal, just seeing so many of you wearing the bracelets is a huge symbolic gesture of support, and I just want to thank you.